They say success makes noise. He said the greatest success comes from silence. Right now, somewhere in your city, someone is quietly building an empire while others are shouting about their dreams. That person understands what I'm about to share with you. Just last month, I visited an old friend who runs a manufacturing business. While his competitors were hosting flashy events and flooding social media with updates, he was in his office at 5 a.m. reviewing operations reports and writing notes in perfect silence. 20 years ago, he started in his garage. Today, he employs over 300 people. He never sought attention. He simply worked, planned, and executed, quietly and consistently. Look at nature. The mighty oak doesn't announce its growth. Each morning as the sun rises, it simply adds another ring to its trunk. It doesn't boast about reaching toward the sky. It just grows silently and steadily until one day it stands as a giant among trees. Your success can follow this same quiet pattern of growth. I've watched thousands chase their dreams over the decades. The loudest ones often fade quickly, like fireworks, bright, noisy, but gone in an instant. But the quiet ones, those who focus on consistent action rather than constant announcement, they're the ones who build lasting success. They understand that true power lies in silent, focused dedication to their craft. The modern world lives in a state of constant noise. Everywhere you turn, someone's shouting about their next big move, their latest achievement, their upcoming success. Social media feeds overflow with carefully crafted images of achievement. Television blares with overnight success stories. Radio waves carry endless tales of instant millionaires. It seems the whole world believes that success must be loud to be real. But let me tell you something I've learned from studying success for over 4 decades. The loudest voice in the room rarely belongs to the most successful person. Think about the truly great achievers in history. Did Thomas Edison hold press conferences about his thousands of failed attempts at the light bulb? No, he simply kept working day after day in his quiet laboratory until he literally lit up the world. Did Henry Ford spend his time telling everyone about his vision for the automobile? No, he was too busy in his workshop, quietly perfecting his assembly line. Consider the Wright brothers. While others boasted about their flying machines and held grand public demonstrations that often ended in failure, Orville and Wilbur worked in near-complete silence in their small bicycle shop. They didn't seek attention. They didn't make bold proclamations. They simply worked, tested, failed, and tried again, quietly, persistently, until that historic December morning at Kitty Hawk. Here's what troubles me about our modern obsession with instant, noisy success. It creates a dangerous illusion. Young people today think success should come quickly, loudly, with millions of followers and instant recognition. They believe if they aren't crushing it or killing it within 6 months, something's wrong. They've bought into the myth that real success happens overnight. Let me share a truth I've witnessed repeatedly. The most successful people I know built their empires in silence. While others were busy talking about success, they were busy working toward it. While others sought shortcuts, they embraced the long road. While others chased instant results, they focused on consistent improvement. I remember visiting a friend's factory in Michigan. For 15 years, he worked quietly, improving his processes, serving his customers, building his team. No flashy marketing campaigns, no viral social media presence. Just quiet, focused dedication to excellence. Today, his company leads his industry not because he talked about success, but because he worked for it in silence. The false promise of instant success is like a shiny lure that catches many fish but feeds none. It promises everything and delivers nothing. Real success, lasting success, isn't built in a day, a week, or even a year. It's built through thousands of quiet moments of focused effort, strung together like pearls on a string, each one adding to the value of the whole. The next time you hear someone shouting about their guaranteed path to instant success, pause and look around. The real achievers are probably too busy working to listen. They understand that true success doesn't need a megaphone. It simply needs dedication, patience, and the wisdom to choose the quiet path. Here's what you need to understand about strategic thinking and planning. Your mind works best in silence. When you remove the noise, when you step away from the chaos of everyday life, that's when your best ideas emerge. I learned this lesson from a banker in Chicago who built a financial empire. Every morning, before sunrise, he spent 2 hours in his study, no phone, no radio, no distractions, just him, a notebook, and his thoughts. In that quiet space, He mapped out strategies that eventually transformed his small bank into a regional powerhouse. Strategic thinking isn't complicated, but it requires something rare in today's world: sustained silence. Find 30 minutes each day for quiet planning. Start with a simple question. What's the one thing I can do today that brings me closer to my goal? Write it down. Then ask what might stop me. Write that down too. Now you have a target and awareness of potential obstacles. That's strategic thinking at its most basic and most powerful. I remember visiting a furniture maker in North Carolina. His workshop opened at 8, but he arrived at 6 every morning. Those 2 hours of quiet planning saved him 10 hours of wasted effort later in the day. He'd sketch designs, review material costs, and plan his cuts all before anyone else arrived. Today, his pieces sell for tens of thousands of dollars. That's the power of strategic silence. Consistent daily actions. The second pillar of quiet success. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. They try to make massive changes all at once, burn out, and quit. The quiet achiever knows better. They understand the power of small, consistent actions performed daily. If you improve just 1% each day, in a year you'll be 365% better. That's the mathematics of success. It's not about grand gestures or massive overhauls. It's about showing up every day and doing a little bit more, a little bit better than yesterday. I know a writer who never writes more than 2 pages a day. That's it, just 2 pages. Seems small, doesn't it? But he never misses a day, rain or shine. Feeling inspired or not, 2 pages get written. In 5 years, he's published 6 books, built a loyal readership, and created a sustainable career, not through bursts of frenzied activity, but through quiet, consistent action. Your daily actions compound like interest in a bank account. Each small deposit might seem insignificant, but over time, they create something remarkable. The key is consistency. Don't worry about the size of the action. Worry about maintaining the habit. 5 push-ups every day beats 500 push-ups once a month. The third pillar, patient persistence through challenges. It might be the most important of all. Anyone can stay motivated when things are going well. The quiet achiever's power comes from their ability to persist when everything seems to be falling apart. Let me tell you about a restaurant owner I know. During his first year of business, a construction project blocked access to a street for 6 months. Many would have quit. Some would have launched complaints on social media. Others might have tried desperate promotional gimmicks. But he stayed quiet and got creative. He developed a delivery service, improved his recipes, and trained his staff to excellence. When the construction finished, he had a better business than before. That's patient persistence in action. Here's what most people don't understand about challenges. They're not obstacles to success. They're the building blocks of success. Every problem you solve makes you stronger. Every setback teaches you something valuable. Every failure points you toward eventual success, but only if you persist with patience. I visited a factory in Detroit that makes precision tools. The owner showed me a machine that had failed him 17 times during development. Each failure cost him time and money. But instead of quitting, he kept a detailed log of each malfunction and solution. Today, that machine is his company's biggest competitive advantage. He owns 3 patents based on solutions he developed during those failures. Patient persistence means staying focused on your goal, while remaining flexible about your method. If one approach doesn't work, try another. If that fails, try something else. But never lose sight of your ultimate objective. The quiet achiever knows that success often comes after trying door after door until one finally opens. Remember this about the 3 pillars? Strategic thinking provides your direction. Consistent action creates your momentum. And patient persistence keeps you going when things get tough. Together, they form an unbeatable combination. The strategic thinker knows where they're going. The consistent actor makes steady progress. The patient persister never quits. Don't let any one pillar overshadow the others. I've seen brilliant strategists fail because they couldn't take consistent action. I've watched hard workers fail because they had no strategy. And I've witnessed talented people give up just before breakthrough because they lack persistence. You need all 3 pillars to build lasting success. Start small with each pillar. Set aside 15 minutes each morning for strategic thinking. Choose one small action you can perform daily without fail. When you face a setback, make a commitment to work through it quietly and persistently. As you strengthen each pillar, you'll find them working together, supporting each other, creating a foundation for massive success. The most powerful time of your day starts before the sun rises. While the rest of the world sleeps, champions quietly build their empires. I learned this watching successful people across every field. They all guard their morning hours like a treasure. Let me share with you what I call the daily success formula, a method I've seen transform ordinary lives into extraordinary achievements. Your morning routine isn't just about waking up early. It's about waking up with purpose. I know a successful manufacturer who starts every day at 4:30 a.m. Not because he has to, but because those early hours give him an edge. In the quiet darkness, before his phone rings or emails flood in, he spends 90 minutes preparing his mind, body, and spirit for the day ahead. He reads for 30 minutes, exercises for 30 minutes, and plans for 30 minutes. Simple, consistent, powerful. By the time most people hit their snooze button for the third time, the quiet achievers have already accomplished more than many do in a full day. They understand something crucial, that excellence is a habit best built in silence. When the world is still, your mind is clearest. Your willpower is strongest. Your focus is sharpest. I visited a woman in Seattle who built a technology company from her kitchen table. She told me her success came from what she calls her golden hour, that first hour of the day when her mind is fresh and the house is quiet. No phone, no email, no distractions. Just her, a cup of coffee, and complete focus on her most important task of the day. She built $1 million business one golden hour at a time. The power of small actions compounding over time. Most people dramatically overestimate what they can do in a day and severely underestimate what they can accomplish in a year of consistent effort. The quiet achievers understand this principle deeply. They don't try to move mountains in a day. They move small stones every day until the mountain is gone. If you read just 10 pages every morning, you'll finish 12 average-sized books in a year. If you save $5 a day, you'll have nearly $2,000 in a year. If you learn one new thing about your craft each day, you'll be 365 times more knowledgeable in a year. Small actions, multiplied by consistency, create massive results. I remember visiting a carpenter's workshop in Oregon. Every morning, he spent 15 minutes sharpening his tools. 15 minutes. That's all. But he never skipped his ritual. Over 30 years, this small daily action saved him countless hours of frustrated work with dull tools and helped him build a reputation for excellence. That's the power of small actions compounding. Building momentum through silence might sound contradictory, but it's one of the most powerful forces in success. Think of a train leaving the station. At first, it moves slowly, quietly, almost imperceptibly. But with each rotation of its wheels, it builds momentum until it becomes an unstoppable force. Your success follows the same pattern. I know a writer who started with just 20 minutes of writing each morning. No announcements on social media. No telling everyone about his book plans. Just quiet, focused work while his family slept. The first week was hard. He only wrote a few paragraphs each day, but he kept showing up. Momentum built silently, steadily. 6 months later, he was writing for 2 hours every morning without even noticing the time pass. Today, he's published multiple books, all built 20 minutes at a time in the quiet of early morning. Your momentum builds in silence through what I call the +1 principle. Each day, do just a little bit more than yesterday. One more page. One more call. One more step. These small increases, added consistently, create unstoppable momentum. But here's the key. Don't talk about it. Don't post about it. Don't seek validation from others. Let your results speak for themselves. Remember this about your daily success formula. The morning routine establishes your foundation, small actions create your progress, and silence builds your momentum. These three elements working together form an unstoppable force for achievement. But they must be protected. Guard your morning routine like a vault guards gold. Cherish your small actions like a farmer cherishes seeds. Maintain your silence like a monk maintains his meditation. Start today. Not next Monday, not next month, today. But wake up 30 minutes earlier tomorrow. Spend that time in quiet preparation for success. Choose one small action you'll repeat daily. Then let your silence speak through your results. That's the daily success formula in action. Dealing with doubt requires inner strength. Every successful person I've met has faced moments of uncertainty, moments when that quiet voice of doubt whispers, maybe you can't do this, Maybe you should quit. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail isn't the absence of doubt, it's how they respond to it. I remember visiting a young entrepreneur in Boston. She'd invested her life savings in a small business. 3 months in, nothing seemed to work. Doubt crept in like a fog, threatening to obscure her vision. But instead of letting it paralyze her, she turned it into fuel. Each morning, she wrote down her doubts in a notebook, then below each doubt. She wrote 3 reasons why she would succeed. She didn't share these struggles on social media. She didn't seek validation from others. She faced her doubts quietly, methodically, and turned them into stepping stones. Here's what you must understand about doubt. It's not your enemy. It's a natural part of any worthwhile endeavor. When doubt appears, welcome it like an old friend who asks tough but necessary questions. Let it sharpen your thinking, strengthen your resolve, and refine your plans. But never let it make your decision. Many will question your quiet approach to success. In a world that celebrates noise, your silence might seem strange. Family members might ask why you're not putting yourself out there more. Friends might suggest you need to network more or build your personal brand. Colleagues might mistake your quiet focus for lack of ambition. I once knew a software developer who worked evenings and weekends on his project. His friends called him antisocial. His family worried he was wasting his time. His coworkers laughed at his dedication. But he understood something they didn't. Real success doesn't need an audience during its creation. For 3 years, he worked quietly, systematically improving his project bit by bit. Today, his software serves millions of users. The same people who question his silence now ask him to speak at their events. Staying focused when others don't understand requires a special kind of strength. You must learn to trust your inner compass more than external opinions. This doesn't mean ignoring all advice. It means filtering advice through your own wisdom and experience. The quiet achiever knows that not everyone needs to understand your path for it to be the right path. Listen to me carefully, sacred. Guard it like a treasure. When others question your methods, remember, they're not seeing what you see. They don't feel what you feel. They don't know what you know. Your vision is yours alone, and only you can bring it to life. Finding strength in solitude might be your greatest challenge and your biggest opportunity. Most people fear solitude. They fill every quiet moment with noise. Television, social media, pointless conversations. But the successful ones, the real achievers, they've learned to embrace solitude. They understand that their greatest strengths, their best ideas, their most powerful insights come during moments of quiet reflection. I visited a painter in her studio in Santa Fe. She worked in complete silence. No music, no radio, no phone. In silence, she told me I can hear my creativity speak. Her paintings now sell for tens of thousands of dollars. She built her success in solitude, one quiet brushstroke at a time. Here's a truth about solitude that few understand. It's not about being alone. It's about being completely present with yourself. Use your solitary moments to think deeply, to plan carefully, to reflect honestly on your progress. These quiet moments of self-connection will strengthen your resolve and clarify your vision. When challenges arise, and they will be, teach them with quiet determination. Don't waste energy complaining. Don't seek sympathy on social media. Instead, turn inward. Draw strength from your solitude. Use your quiet moments to analyze, adjust, and advance. Remember, the oak tree grows strongest when it stands alone. Create what I call a power hour of solitude each day. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Turn off your phone. Close your laptop. Just sit with your thoughts, your plans, your dreams. Let the silence energize you. Let it clarify your thinking. Let it strengthen your resolve. You'll discover something remarkable. The quieter you become, the more clearly you can think. The more clearly you can think, the more effectively you can act. The closer you move toward your goals. This is the power cycle of solitude. Remember this about silent struggle. Doubt is natural. Use it to strengthen your resolve. Others may not understand your path. Keep walking it anyway. Solitude isn't emptiness. It's an opportunity for growth. Master these 3 elements and you'll turn your silent struggles into stepping stones towards success. The art of quiet observation can teach you more than any seminar book or training program ever could. In 40 years of studying success, I've noticed something remarkable. The most successful people are often the best observers. They don't just look. They see. They don't just hear. They listen. They don't just experience. Let me share something I witnessed in Chicago. I was visiting a trading floor, watching a seasoned trader at work. While others frantically shouted and waved papers, he sat quietly, watching the patterns of movement across the floor. He told me later, I make more money from watching than trading. He'd learned to read the subtle shifts in energy, the barely noticeable patterns that signaled market changes. His quiet observation made him millions while others lost fortunes trying to outshout each other. Success leaves clues, but you miss them if you're too busy talking. Watch how successful people carry themselves. Notice their habits, their routines, their responses to challenges. Pay attention to what they do, not what they say they do. There's a world of difference between the two. I remember visiting a restaurant owner who turned a failing business into a local sensation. His secret? For 1 month, he spent every evening sitting quietly in different corners of his restaurant, watching, listening, taking notes. He observed how customers moved through the space, how servers interacted, where bottlenecks formed. He didn't ask for opinions. He didn't hold focus groups. He simply observed. Then he made small, precise changes based on what he saw. His profits doubled in 6 months. Reading between the lines means seeing what others miss. It's about noticing the subtle signals that most people overlook. When a successful business launches a new product, don't just look at the product. Observe the timing, the presentation, the market conditions. When a competitor fails, don't just note the failure. Study the chain of events that led to it. I knew a real estate investor who made her fortune, not by finding properties, but by finding patterns. She would sit in coffee shops in different neighborhoods, quietly observing the flow of people, the types of cars, the shopping bags people carried. She noticed when young professionals started appearing in older neighborhoods, when moving trucks became more frequent, when renovation permits started appearing in windows. She bought properties based on these quiet observations, often months before prices started rising. Developing insight through observation is like developing any other skill. It requires practice, patience, and persistence. Start with something simple. Spend 15 minutes each day observing one aspect of your business or life without trying to change. Just watch, take notes, look for patterns. You'll be amazed at what you begin to notice. Here's what most people get wrong about observation. They think it's passive. Real observation is active. It engages your mind fully. When you truly observe, you're not just collecting information. You're processing it, analyzing it, connecting dots that others don't even see. This kind of observation leads to insights that can transform your business and your life. He visited a manufacturing plant where the manager solved a costly production problem through quiet observation. Instead of bringing in expensive consultants, he spent a week sitting quietly by different parts of the production line. He noticed something no one had spotted. A 3-second delay in one process that created a ripple effect throughout the line. One small adjustment saved his company millions. That's the power of patient, focused observation. Remember this about quiet observance. It's not about being perceptive. It's not about copying others. It's about understanding principles. It's not about finding shortcuts. It's about seeing opportunities. Master the art of observation, and you'll see paths to success that others miss entirely. Turn your quiet observation into action. Start today. Choose something specific to observe. Don't judge. Don't try to fix. Just watch and learn. The insights you gain through careful observation will guide your path to success more surely than any amount of noisy action. Building lasting success is like building a magnificent cathedral. Each day you lay another brick. Each quiet hour of focused work adds to the structure. The process might seem slow, even tedious at times, but remember, the greatest achievements in history were built by people who understood the power of patient, persistent action. The compound effect of silent progress is unstoppable. Think about this. Every giant redwood tree started as a tiny seed that quietly pushed through the soil. No one noticed its daily growth. No one celebrated each new ring in its trunk. But year after year, it grew taller, stronger, more magnificent. Your success can follow the same pattern. Each small action, each quiet hour of dedicated work builds upon everything that came before. Today, right now, you stand at the beginning of your own quiet path to massive success. The journey won't be flashy. It won't make headlines. But if you embrace the power of silence, if you commit to consistent, focused action, if you trust in the compound effect of daily progress, you'll build something extraordinary. I've seen this truth play out countless times. The business owner who worked quietly for years, perfecting their systems while others chased quick fame. The artist who spent thousands of solitary hours mastering their craft, while others sought shortcuts to recognition. The inventor who failed silently hundreds of times before creating something revolutionary. They all understood that lasting success is built in silence. Success isn't found in the noise. It's found in the quiet moments when you choose to work while others talk. It's found in the early mornings and late nights when you're refining your craft. It's found in the silent determination to keep going when others have given up. It's found in the courage to stay focused when the world tells you to seek attention. Remember this: the quietest path often leads to the highest peak. Your success doesn't need to make noise. It just needs to make impact. And that impact comes from consistent, focused, quiet action. The world has enough noise. What it needs is more people willing to do the silent work that creates real, lasting success. Start today, not with a bang, but with a whisper. Not with a shout, but with silent determination. Your quiet path to massive success begins now, in this moment of decision. Choose silence. Choose focus. Choose consistent action. The results will speak for themselves. Trust in the power of quiet progress. Trust in your ability to build something extraordinary through patient, persistent action. The path to massive success isn't found in the spotlight. It's found in the shadows where real work happens. Where will you be found? The choice is yours. You can join the noise, or you can join the ranks of quiet achievers who build lasting success through focused action. The path is clear. The time is now. Your future success awaits in the power of silence. Thank you for your attention. Now go forth and let your actions speak louder than words. Your quiet path to massive success starts right now, in this moment of decision.